Welcome to Nessio's Light. Hello, how's it going? Today I want to build a greenhouse to hold one of every kind of crop. I'm just going to start off with what I have for now. I know that there's a lot of different kinds of plants in Minecraft. I'm not going to stress about getting them all. We're just going to focus on what we have right now. Hello, we're in the desert now. We're just going to mine for a bit. Now, I've been wanting to make a greenhouse, but I feel like now is a good time because I want to share a analogy that I heard once. And it's that friendships are like plants. At a base level, they require care and attention, and you can't leave them for very long or else they'll decay. Keeping in touch with people is super duper difficult. Maybe this is just me, but I get so stressed out texting people. You know, a part of me feels like I'm wasting their time, and then another part of me feels like, you know, conversating through text just isn't engaging enough. And I've been struggling to find a solution to that socialization procrastination, you know? Friendships are like plants. They need to be watered, they need to be given the correct amount of sunlight, they need to be put into a place where they're going to grow. After some totally scientific testing, I think the best way to at least try to keep in touch with people is to buy a plant and name that plant after your friend. And that is the relationship that you are trying to maintain. That is the connection with this other person that you are trying to nurture. And everything you do for that plant, imagine that's what it's like to maintain a friendship. Every time you water it, every time you move where the pot is, and every time you buy a new pot because the plant keeps growing. The longer that you have the plant, the easier it is to remember, oh, I haven't watered this plant in a while. I should probably do that. And eventually, once you get a hang of taking care of that plant, you can eventually transfer over that experience to getting to know people better. You know, every time that you water the plant, that's just like sending a simple text, you know? At the end of the day, if you're like me and you struggle with just trying to talk to people and generally just stay in touch, I think while this isn't like the best solution, it's better than nothing. There's also a lot of nuance to friendships. Sometimes you're gonna have to make adjustments here and there because not every friendship is going to be the same, you know? Some friendships are like cacti and they don't really need to be watered very often. And then other relationships are more like strawberry plants or like tomatoes or something. And they require like a bit of extra attention. All I really want to do is, I guess, share my thoughts on this. And if I ever forget, I'll have this video to remind myself with. Life is not a one-player game. We cannot do this alone. At the end of the day, just try and keep in touch. Make sure to water your flowers every day, and look after the people that you care about. I hope you all have a nice night. I'll see you all later. Bye bye!